Wet mouth, wet mouth. I love you, Dad. So there are some people around you who are just like lingering because they're not really happy, which is weird, I guess. It's like why are you around if you don't like me or you're not really rooting for my success? But I feel like that's like the conundrum that a lot of us in the collective are like dealing with when it comes to people around us. Is like who really does support us and who is just around to wait to see us fuck up, kind of a thing. This could be a time when you've recently figured out some people who were like your secretive enemies. And you could have like caught someone trying to like fuck up your happiness. Like trying to like create an obstacle, maybe unnecessarily for you. This could have been a friend, family member. Like this energy of almost like sneak dissing. Or you could have like got this feeling that somebody was talking about you or telling your personal business behind your back. If that's the case, then like yeah. Like you could have sent a picture to someone and then like they took that picture and then sent it in some kind of like group chat. I feel like associating with you makes other people look good, especially if this is like family. People want to like appear as if they have a good connection with you, even if they don't really. So there could be like a lot of like posing happening around you. And if people can't pose because you don't allow them to pose, then they're just like kind of like stalking and lurking and trying to like gather information so that they can maybe even present themselves to you as someone who you should allow to pose in like your picture. There could be something about like your physical, like your aesthetic or like what you represent in the world to other people that's like attractive. Like people could like commonly agree that you're a good thing. If you hear like chewing in the background, it's my dog. He's chewing on a bone. But like people could commonly agree that you're like a good person, that people should like want to have around or like would be like lucky to have as a friend. You could have like specific physical traits that make you like conventionally attractive. Um, and some people just kind of like kind of want to leech. And if you don't let them leech, they're feeling frustrated, especially if they used to be able to leech and now they can't leech. It's like you might even underestimate how addictive your energy could be. And I think people like, you know, because you're like commonly known in whatever space as like a good person who like does things right and can be trusted, whenever you like maybe even publicly condemn someone, they have a really difficult time like coming back from that, like reputation wise. So you might notice like people trying to defame you. Like I was on a call with like a friend earlier in the week, and like he had like a breakup situation with like his one of his exes, and then she ended up like getting a restraining order against him. So then he has like this like legal like reputation for being like a bad guy, but there was a lot more that like happened in that relationship than what was just like involved in that court case, if that makes sense. So like he said, he was telling me, he was like, whenever I'm like meeting a new girl, I have to like tell her this thing, and then like I felt empathetic for him because like, you know, it's gotta suck to have to like introduce yourself with like some of the worst aspects of yourself, you know, like kind of be forced to, and then just kind of hope that people are capable of seeing you for who you really are and not just like who you were in a moment of in time, like however many years ago. So yeah, like baby, your mouth is wet. I don't want you. No, I don't want to be licked right now. Thank you. God damn. Yeah, I love you. You literally just drank a bunch of water. Yeah, I love you. I'll pet you a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So people could even try to like get ahead of whatever you might say. I don't know that you're even like a person who goes around and is like, oh, this is like this bad thing that happened with this person. Like, I don't think you're the kind of person who feeds off of validation, so you don't really need to go around like telling other people the bad experiences that you had with other people. But I do feel like whenever you have like an argument or like a conflict, people will try to like get ahead of you and your explanation of what happened by like spreading their version of what happened, hoping that like people will like get on their side, bless you, or like support them, right? Especially if you're like a big deal. I think people assume that like people will support you, so they try to like prevent that from happening before it can happen. The title I think is like Return of the Scorned. So I wonder if this is happening like right now, like someone that you've recently gotten into like a bit of a scuffle with is like either like lingering around your energy to gain more information about you, to talk more about you, to like kind of fuel this fire of like you being the bad guy. Like I got into it with like a person in my family like maybe like a year or a little bit more ago, and they went and like told like they married into my family, and they went and like told like called up my cousin who I didn't even really talk to like that, and then like they were talking to my cousin about me, and then my cousin like texted me and she was like, I can't believe you would do this, and I was like, who even told you about this? Like and then I was like, bro, like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you and you, like, what? So like you might you might feel like ganged up on. Like I think that's what the energy, like whoever this person is or the situation is, like this like opposing enemy situation or plot, like they want you to feel overwhelmed by opposition. They want you to feel like you're the only one who sees your side of the story. Um, they might even try to like victimize themselves. Like the same person, like when they were kicking me out, because I like they had invited me over to stay. Like when they were kicking me out, they tried to like send me away with like their clothes, and I was like, dude, I don't want your clothes. Like keep your fucking clothes. So it was like almost like this energy of like, hey, I'm like doing you incredibly dirty right now, but I don't want to feel bad about it. So like take some of my stuff with you. Like take my luggage, my laundry, literally with you. Like it's like literally like people wanting to offset their guilt with like I don't know, it's like this desperate attempt to not seem like who they really are. So you could be experiencing that. And in those situations, like it really just I think what I've experienced and what I've learned is that it's best to just let time reveal the truth of situations. Eight of cups, eight of swords, because she ended up like at the time I had like really short red hair. She ended up like cutting all her hair off to like copy my hairstyle, and the whole situation was really just her being jealous over the relationship that I had with my cousin, because my cousin was the one who like had the house because he was the one who was employed by the government. And he was the person I asked to stay with. Um and like she was like his new wife, like basically spawned out of thin air. And no shade or anything. But yeah, when I came around, like me and my cousin were like best friends. Like it had been like since we were kids. Obviously, we're like fucking family. So we would always just like chill around, and like I didn't have to like always talk to him, like talk his ear off, or like we like the same kind of shows. Like we would just like chill and like watch Peaky Blinders and like eat pizzas and shit like that. And then like she would come in the room and be like, basically just feel jealous because we were bros. And she didn't really feel like a bro. So then you know, she ended up just kind of feeling intimidated by like what I represented as a person that she couldn't like replicate. You know, like she couldn't be me ever. Even if like there were things that we had in common that I enjoyed. Like whenever we went to the gym and shit like that, like I liked working out with her. Like, she was cool when she wasn't like being super jealous. So like, yeah, we just had like personality differences. I even at one point let her like I tried to like bring her onto my account and like show my followers like who she was. Like I really thought she was cool at one point. I was like, yeah, like this is her, and like let's see what she has to like say to you guys. But like it turned out she was one of those more like superficial types of spiritual people, because after she kicked me out, or she had my cousin kick me out, because he was afraid to get a divorce, um she would like denounce spirituality like in its entirety, and then became like rock hard Bible thumping Christian like overnight. And then she was like, spirituality is the devil. And basically, she just wanted to call me the devil. Like, she just wanted me to look like a bad person, because she was doing the same stuff that I was doing. Like, she's doing the exact same stuff that I was doing. She wanted me to like teach her how to do the shit that I was doing. But then as soon as we had like an argument, then I was like a devil worshiper. It was crazy. But I'm used to that, you know. Like I'm. There's things about me that like are easy to villainize. So you could have some stuff like that. Like you could be like tattooed or have some kind of like darker style. Or hey, thanks for being in the live. You could have some kind of like darker style, or you could just be like, you know, a scapegoat. Like you just fall into that scapegoat category. Like people find it easy to make you seem like you're the bad guy. Maybe because you don't even care to explain yourself. Like in my family, I have to deal with that a lot. Like stuff will happen and then people will just start talking immediately. And I'm not the kind of person who like in a time of conflict wants to like talk. Like I don't, like I'm more so like I need to find a place to like a dark place to like cuddle up and then figure out how I feel. You know, I'm not like trying to convince anybody to feel my unformed emotions with me, you know? But like I think it's a difference in personality. It's a difference in maturity. So I feel like that's being revealed to people who may have had like a different or like misconstrued idea of who you were at an earlier time. It's like, oh, now that I like kind of see the bigger picture, I realize you weren't really as fucked up as I thought you were. And then maybe if they like judged you and like hopped on the bandwagon of like, oh fuck this guy, some people could probably even be regretting like where they positioned themselves, because they could know that there's no like easy, if any, way back from like what they said to you, what they did to you, kind of a thing. Because some people who like these people went to talk to about like why they hate you, kind of a thing, were already looking for a reason to not fuck with you. Like they just never like said anything. Like they said like secret hate. And then as soon as they like heard like some or any bad shit about you, they were like, oh, yep, I knew there was something about that guy. Like, like they were like ready to hate you. So you can't really do anything about that. But that energy is like kind of around, you know, like some people just want to assume the worst of you, maybe because there's so much good about you. You know, like you could be like that kind of guy where like people just don't believe you when you present the truth of who you are. They just like, this can't really possibly be as good as it seems like it is. There must be some kind of lie here somewhere. And that's usually like a projection of their own energy. Like, you know, I deal with that a lot in like relationships, or like I have in relationships where like, you know, I'm pretty like awesome in relationships. Like I don't mean to like toot my own horn here, but like any relationship I actually wanted to be in, at least historically, like nowadays, I'm a lot more toxic than I used to be, because now I'm like, I don't even take shit seriously anymore. But when I was like really a good girl, a good me, I was, you know, perfect. I was pretty fucking perfect. And then whenever I would be that version of me, people would be like, no, I don't trust it. Like, you gotta be like lying or cheating. And then I would just like actually start doing it. So, you know, nowadays I don't really give a fuck like I used to, but I used to be like perfect and still not believed as perfect. And I think it's probably the reason why like I don't even bother trying to be perfect anymore. Unless you're worth it. Unless you're worth it. My dog started kicking himself in the face when I said that, so I want to make it clear that I still have the capacity for healthy relationships when I fully apply myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. King of Pentacles. So yeah, while people are like watching you, they're seeing you as being like comfortable, secure, and like having authority over your own domain. And that's really, I think, what bothers them the most is like whatever stability you have, they can't really interfere with. Like, you know, like whatever you have going on is your own. Like you have claim and dominion over it. Like nothing flies without you like approving it. They can't just like come into your spot and like destroy stuff. Um, they might not even be able to get access to like where you live. You could be somewhere far away. Like I mentioned how I like to go into like my secret dark lair and like hole up. You could be the kind of person who like keeps your phone on do not disturb, or you could be the kind of person who like is quick to block people. Uh, you could be the kind of person who doesn't mind like letting a phone ring out, kind of a thing. Like you don't really seem like, and that's like the darker traits that people will want to be like, oh, you know, you're hard to reach. You don't communicate clearly, that kind of a thing. Like, you know, they want to hate on it, but really you're peaceful. Like you're really a peaceful guy. And these people are like groupies. Like they group up and click up to like terrorize or something like that. like, like they like their power is in their voice, but they're not even using their voice ethically. Like they're spreading like non-truths, or they're almost like spreading propaganda about how people should be seeing you, and it's just like not accurate. So then eventually these people like lose their credibility as voices of reason within this group, because time will go on and then whatever they said is like obviously not true. And then people will be like, oh, so you were just talking shit. Like obviously it's very clear at this point that you were just mad. Like you were just mad. You were just talking out of your neck. The star in reverse, and then they lose their group, you know? Because they didn't feel small before, they definitely will start to feel small after their own people kind of turn their back on them. Because, like, you can't really make a real friendship off of spreading lies with other people. Like, you know? Like, it's fake. Like, even the people who will want to come to these people's aid as, like, their friends will start to realize that they shouldn't even do that. Like, I can't even, like, their friends will have a difficult time maintaining loyalty to them for as long as they're committed to being against you on, like, faulty foundations. Because they're like, dude, you're just, like, leading me on a highway to hell when it comes to this person. Like, you just don't want me to, like, be around this person who obviously has something going on. Because I think a lot of these people are, like, insecure about their value on some level, which is part of the reason why they're triggered by yours. It's like, if you're not giving them the validation that they want, then they're like, you shouldn't have any at all. How can I stop you from getting yours? I'm not getting what I want. It's very, like, selfish and, like, narcissistic energy. It's like, they don't want to see you shine. But the Hierophant, like, you know, you're really stable in your position. So I don't think you have anything to worry about, like, losing it. You just have to deal with, like, the social repercussions of having it. Like, you know, people who, you know, like, it's like the energy of, like, the Matrix with, like, the Mr. Smiths. It's like people literally just, like, activating to become your enemy because you have something of value, whether it's knowledge or, like, access or social rank. And they're like, well, I just don't like you because you just fit this category that makes me see you as an enemy. It could even be, like, a racist kind of a thing, depending on, like, where you live. Like, some people watching this could feel like they live in an environment that is, like, unlike them in some way. I could understand that. I used to live in, like, the middle of, like, the white Republican desert, and now I live in, like, back in Atlanta, so yeah. It's definitely, like, a culture shock, to say the least. So it's like you're just like, you know, moving through the world doing your own thing, and people could just, you know, not fuck with you. And if you're not used to like experiencing that, it could really come as a shock to what extent people are willing to go to kind of like group up against you, because it could not just be like a friend group, it could be like an entire neighborhood or like whatever. Because it like when it comes to certain markers, like there could be a hive mind kind of philosophy, like everyone here thinks the same way and like is prepared to treat you in the same way based off of like what we've heard about you, because people once again could have like gone ahead to like make sure that you weren't able to plant the roots that they don't want you to have in certain communities. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. So if you liked it, like the video, maybe subscribe or comment. Okay.